Hi everyone, my name's Kathleen. Thanks a lot for tuning in to Philly Fit Mind and Body. I'd like to just offer about a 20-minute yoga practice just for unwinding, especially in and around the spine. It's really helpful to remember that you are in charge of you. If you have any back pain or discomfort, we certainly never want to do anything that causes or increases pain. And if you're not sure, it's always really important to check with your doctor first to make sure that these types of movements are really good for you. Yoga is about being well and being kind and being loving. So please take good care of yourselves. Okay, let's get on our mats. So if you don't have a yoga mat at home, totally fine. It's just helpful to be on a surface that is slip-free, right? So that we can hold ourselves as we move through our postures. So let's start out with a few mindful breaths. Help us start to pay attention, come into the present moment with care and loving attention. So feel free to stand in any way that's comfortable for you. Feet can be together or a little wider apart. Maybe take a moment to just kind of loosen up. And then we'll just pause and come to stillness. Eyes can be open or closed. And as we inhale, see if we can feel the ribs expand. And as we exhale, feeling the feet on the floor. Inhaling, ribs expanding. Exhaling, feet on the floor. Let's do one more like this. Breath in. And breath out. And we'll start with some gentle movement, bringing the hands to the hips, feet a little wider than the hips, and maybe just starting by shifting the hips from side to side. And you can continue with side to side or circle the hips a few times. If you're wondering, is this yoga? Right? Yoga can be a whole lot of different things. In short, we're bringing our mind and body in one loving, helpful place. So sure, it's yoga. How we eat our food can be yoga. Right now, we're using an old school exercise to loosen up through the hips and the back, maybe reversing the direction of this circle. A couple nice deep breaths. And then nice and easy, take your time coming back to center. So knees are bent. I often say soft, knees soft and bent. And just a little bit, starting to turn from side to side. So depending on how loose or not loose we are, this might actually be enough for a lot of us. Some of us might feel comfortable turning from the waist a little bit more. But be careful of the knees. So as I turn to my right, my left heel lifts. And as I turn to the other side, the other heel lifts. So turning from side to side, a couple deep breaths, and the arms are just kind of along for the ride. We're really rotating from the waist, and the arms can be just light and easy. A few more deep breaths. If you feel like you could benefit from letting out letting out some exhales, especially as we move into the twist. Letting go of any storage of stress we might have carried with us onto our mats. If you did, I promise you are not alone. So from here, we will just start to slow down, kind of like powering down. Not all at once, nice and easy, feeling the spine slowly make its way back to center. Okay, we'll do a few standing sun breaths. I'll turn to my side so that you can see. Feel free to turn in any direction that's helpful. We'll take a breath in and extend the arms up. Only if it feels good, gently shifting the hips forward. Really picking the spine and the heart up out of the hips. Breath in. And then a pretty deep bend in the knees. This will make it easier on our backs as we exhale to fold. You can even Climb the hands from the thighs to the ground, letting the back of the neck relax. It's okay if the knees are bent. Some of us might feel comfortable to straighten the legs a little more or even all the way. Do what feels safe and comfortable for you. This is our forward fold. If this feels like too much, you can always take your forward fold with your elbows up on the knees. So find one that's really comfortable for you. We'll take one more breath in, breath out. Then bringing hands probably about mid to top of the shins. We'll straighten the arms, lifting to our upward facing forward fold. And we're lengthening through the spine to the side waist. If it's comfortable for the neck, looking forward, lifting through the heart. We'll take one more breath in. And then coming back to your version of a forward fold. Hands to the ground or elbows to thighs. Bending the knees a little more. We'll press into the feet and inhaling to roll up to standing. Let's keep moving. Taking the arms to the sky. And on your exhale, a pretty deep bend in the knees as we fold forward. Taking your time all the way till the neck can soften. Hands to shins. Extending the arms. Inhale, lifting through the head and the heart. And exhale, folding in again. Pressing into the feet. Inhaling to roll up to standing. Extending the arms to the sky. Let's do this one more time. Bending the knees, exhaling to fold forward. Folding all the way till the neck can soften. Hands to shins, arms extend, inhale, looking forward with the head, the heart, and exhale, folding in. Pressing into the feet, inhaling to roll up to standing. Take your time. This time we'll take the arms to the sky and catching a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. I'll be turning from time to time just so that you can see. Lifting through the heart and maybe let the feet separate a tiny bit and exhale, press the right hip to the right. So all I've done is shift my hips and it already creates a nice long curve. Pressing down into the feet, lifting through the collarbone, lifting through the crown of the head. One more full breath out here. And inhaling to come back to center. Shoulders can relax as we reverse the hands. And all we need to do is exhale, press the hips to the left and reach up. So it's not about how far we bend. We're actually creating length rather on the side body. Depending on how tight we are, we might find a little is often a lot. Pressing down into the feet to lift up. One more exhale. And nice and easy, inhale back to center. Hands can release. And exhale, floating the hands down to the sides. Might feel nice to breathe in, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, rolling them back and down. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling. Breathing in to take the arms up and overhead. Again, a pretty deep bend in the knees as we exhale to fold forward. Finding your version of the forward fold. Hands to shins just like before. Inhale, arms extending to lift the head and the heart. And then bringing the hands to the ground. We're going to make our way to down dog. So you might feel comfortable walking back to down dog, but you might prefer to come to your knees first to get here. Perfectly fine. Do what feels really healthy and like a big yes for you. Knees can bend a little bit here. And bending the left knee a little more
And letting the hips sway to the left. So the right side waist lengthens. And now we'll switch the legs, bending the right knee and letting the hips sway to the right. So the left side body lengthens. Inhaling, coming back to center. You might choose to stay with bent knees or maybe extending through the back of the legs. Heels maybe meet the ground, maybe not. Just doing the best we can. Nice deep breath in. And deep breath out. Let's gently place the knees to the earth. If you feel like you need a little padding under the knees, a thin blanket or folded towel is sometimes helpful. And then as you're ready, swaying the spine towards the ground, and we'll lift the head and the heart. And imagine the collarbone, the wall of the heart, is inching forward a little bit more, creating length even as we arch. We'll take one more breath in. And then on your exhale, we're rounding the spine, bringing the chin to the chest. We'll take a couple breaths here. And starting to notice sensation, noticing what feels good. Being careful, taking very good care. One more exhale. And then we'll move a little bit. Inhaling to sway the spine. And exhaling to round the spine. You can always go at your own pace. Inhaling to sway the spine as we lift the head and the heart. Exhaling to round the spine. One more like this. Breath in and breath out. Coming back to center, taking the hands a little bit out in front of the shoulders. I'm actually just going to scoot my knees back a little bit. And rocking forward into a half plank. Lifting the navel inward to protect the low back. Head and the heart almost going to stay up a little bit. We'll take another breath in here. And then as we exhale, lowering ourselves down to the ground. Pointing the toes back behind us. You can even pick one leg up at a time to stretch out through the legs and the hips. And the thumbs land about mid-ribs. Rolling the shoulders back, bringing the chin or forehead to center. So the first time, we'll inhale, lift the head and the heart, almost without pushing into the hands at all. So really welcoming the strength of the back of the torso. Hugging the elbows in to encourage the shoulders to roll back. And maybe playing with what it feels like to press into the hands. You might feel a little traction in the spine. And then to release the pressure. Just kind of getting to know what your back feels like. A few times, pressing and releasing. Hello, spine. One more time like this. And then lowering down. So you might find that's where you'd like to practice tonight. You could do that, or inhale, chin to center, rolling the shoulders back. Next, inhale. Let's come about halfway up. So the elbows are still bent. Heart is lifting. Legs are stretching back behind us. Noticing how this feels. Remember, sometimes less is more. So do what feels real good for you. One more breath in. And then taking your time lowering down as you exhale. So we'll call that step 1, step 2, and I will take it to step 3. You don't have to do this with me. You can repeat 1 or 2. We'll bring the chin or forehead center, rolling the shoulders back, navel to spine, and inhale, lifting the head and the heart. Maybe stretching the arms straight, maybe even pressing in the tops of the feet to lift the thighs off the ground. To our step 3. Taking another breath here, noticing how it feels. And exhale, coming all the way down. Let's stack the hands under the head, bending the knees, rocking the feet a few times from side to side. Nice deep breath. And then lowering the feet to the earth. Sliding the hands back alongside the ribs again. Chin to center. Inhaling, lifting either to 1 or 2. It's really up to you. Press into the knees, and we'll exhale, rocking the hips all the way back to the heels and bringing the forehead to the ground. If it doesn't make it to the ground, stacking the hands again so your head can be supported. Let's take a deep breath here. The knees can be inward. I'm going to take my knees as wide as the edges of the mat now, kind of snuggling torso between the thighs and coming back down to the ground. You might choose to stay center or perhaps walking the torso off the left side of the mat. So the right hand can stretch out even further. Right side torso lengthening, maybe feeling the right ribs move with the breath. Feel free to stay and breathe on this side if you'd like. Or if you're ready, we'll move to the other side. So lifting the torso up as we walk off to the right. In this case, the left arm would sneak out a little bit further. Nice deep breath in. Deep breath out. On your inhale, coming back to center. Slowly lifting the head and the heart up. If the knees are wide, bringing the knees in again. And we'll sink the hips towards the heels, bringing the nose to about a hover, about 3 inches off the mat. And keeping the nose at a hover as we inhale, glide forward up the mat so the nose moves all the way up between the thumbs and the arms to straighten, sway the spine like a hammock. And then exhale, round the spine, moving the hips to the heels. We'll do this a few times. Inhaling to glide forward at a hover. As we straighten the arms, the spine is swayed. Exhale, rounding the spine, moving the hips to the heels. 2 more times. Inhale as we glide forward, extending the arms. Exhale, rounding the back, hips to heels. 1 more breath in. And breath out. Pausing here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take your time coming up onto all fours. Bringing the knees under the hips again. We'll tuck the toes and making our way back into our downward facing dog pose. Nice deep breath in here. Full breath out. 1 more breath in. Breath out. And you can either come to your knees and step up to the forward fold, or walk your feet all the way up to the mat, to the front of the mat. Bringing the hands to the shins, arms to extend, inhaling, and folding in again, exhaling. Take your time, press into your feet, inhaling to roll up to standing, extending the arms to the sky, and exhaling arms to the sides. Nice deep breath in, deep breath out. And we'll do a little more movement. Inhaling, arms to the sky, Bending into the knees as we exhale to fold forward. Hands to the shins, inhaling upward facing fold, long spine. And then lunging the right leg back now as we breathe out. Placing the back knee to the earth. Just one time. Breath in to rock the hips back. And breath out to rock forward. And as we do, we want to pause with the front knee right over the heel. If it's not there, you can wiggle it forward a little bit more. And perhaps pointing the toes behind us back. You could stay here and just enjoy this stretch, this yawning open of the right hip. Or maybe join me by climbing the hands up onto the front thigh. Couple options here. We can stay here. We can always back off. My left foot is forward, so you could join me by taking my right arm to the sky, your right arm, I guess, and then leaning to your left. So your right sideways really lengthens here, picking up through the heart, the crown of the head. Another deep breath in, deep breath out. On your inhale, coming back to center. I love that one. It's one of my favorites. Exhale, bringing the hand to the ground. So you could be on your fingertips, palm, or fist. It's really up to you. Now next, the back knee can be down on the ground or tucking the toes to lift the knee up. See what's a fit for you today. Every day is a little bit different. And we'll breathe in, extending the left arm forward. And breathe out to take it up, circling it back and down. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling, exhaling. Breathing in, breathing out. So this time, let's take the arm forward and up, and we'll pause here. So we're in a balance and a twist. So you might say, yeah, this is great. I want to be here in this shape. This is a good fit for me. Or you might feel like the knee on the ground is a little more fit. You might even bring the left hand to the thigh. Whatever supports you in this twist. 2 more breaths. In, breath out. 1 more breath in, breath out. Take your time. Unwinding out of this, we'll bring our left hand to the ground and step our front foot back. Hands a little bit out in front of the shoulders. Inhaling to rock forward. Navel lifts. Exhaling, we'll make our way down to the ground. Toes to point back. Remember step 1, 2, and 3. Find what's good for you now. As we inhale, lifting the head and the heart. Pausing for an exhale. 1 more breath in. And then we'll move our hips to our heels just for a breath out. Inhale, coming up onto all fours. Tucking the toes. You can always skip this, or maybe just a breath in downward facing dog. From here, we can lunge the right foot forward or lower the knees to the earth and step the right foot forward. Just one time. Inhale, rocking the hips back. And exhale, rocking them forward. So we want to pause with the front knee right over the ankle and heel. We might choose to stay here, or maybe climbing up onto the front thigh. Lifting through the head and the heart. Next option is to take the left arm to the sky. We might feel like this is great, or maybe leaning over to the right a little bit. A lift and a lean. Just like when we were standing, we're really creating some length here. 1 more breath out. back to center. Exhaling, left hand to the ground. We can be on our fingertips, palm, or fist. Rolling the shoulders back. Back knee can stay down, or tuck the toes and lift the knee. And we'll take the right arm forward. Inhaling, twisting to the right as we circle, exhaling, back and down. Inhaling forward and up. Exhaling back and down. Let's do 2 more like this. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. And then we'll take the arm forward and up. So we can stay here, or maybe we choose to place the back knee down if it's not already. We can stay here, or I'm bringing my right hand to my right thigh to support my twist. 2 more breaths. In, breath out, breath in, and breath out. Please taking your time, bringing the right hand to the earth, and we'll step the front foot back. Just 1 more time. Hands a little bit in front of the shoulders. Inhaling to rock forward, and exhaling to lower down. Inhaling, lifting the head and the heart a little or a lot. It's really up to you. And exhaling, moving the hips to the heels. Thank you, body. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let's make our way up onto all fours. And then we'll have a seat. It really doesn't matter which direction you lay in, whatever feels like a good fit for you. Before we lay down, just catching a hold with the arms behind us. My feet are a little wider than the hips, and rocking the knees from side to side. I keep saying I have to stop wearing pants that are the same color as my yoga mat, so we kind of get the idea here. A few times more, just loosening through the hips and the low back, and you might say, this is really nice, I want to keep doing this for a little while. Please go for it. Otherwise, coming to center and taking your time, lowering yourself onto your back. You can always lay onto your side and then come onto your back as well. Thank you, back. Lifting the knees up, catching a hold of the knees, and just circling them a few times in one direction. Maybe circling them a few times in the other direction. Deep breaths are so good for our kind of breathing out accumulated stress. So you might choose to stay here, hugging the knees in, might feel really nice. Or you could take the arms to a T or a goalpost, depending on how much room we have. And then letting both knees fall to one side. If the twist feels like a little too much, you can always let them fall onto a couple pillows so that we don't twist as far. Then bringing some attention to sensation. Maybe feeling the torso move as we breathe. Just another breath or two here. Thank you, spine. And then we'll come through center. Feel free to adjust the hips if you feel like you need to. And then we'll let the knees fall to the other side. Noticing sensation here. Enjoying a few deep breaths. Just noticing how it is. Take your time now, coming back to center. Bringing the knees in for a little hug. Lowering the feet to the earth. If it benefits you to keep your knees bent for now, go for it. I like to have my feet wide and the knees fall together. So that's an option. If you're more comfortable with having the legs extended, feel free to do that. And we'll take 3 breaths with a relaxing sigh here. Nice deep breath in. Deep breath in. One more full breath in. And you are more than welcome to stay and rest here for as long as you like. Maybe a few minutes. But if you're ready to come to seated with me, take your time bringing the soles of the feet to the earth, rolling onto one side. You can even stay here for a breath or two. Eventually, we'll come up to a seat, sitting in any way that supports you. We won't be here for long, just taking a moment to check in with yourself. Noticing how you're doing in the mind and the body. Please remembering there isn't a right or wrong way to be. Rather, we're practicing to arrive where we are and meet ourselves as we are with deep care and kindness, maybe even deep and loving awareness. So that whatever is arising, we might respond to with skill, gentleness, an open heart, and an open mind. You're more than welcome to sit in any way you'd like, or perhaps bringing hands to meet at heart center. This symbolic hand posture that reminds us is the most balanced place of the mind and the body that is innate and in each and every one of us. Perhaps from gratitude for these practices to reconnect us to this place again and again. And may the ripples of our efforts go far and wide. Thank you each so very much for taking good care of yourselves. Namaste.